beautiful gentlemen, ladies, friends, everyone here. Welcome to a new vlog. I have so much to say, and it's actually sometimes my favorite parts of the day are vlogging in the car because I feel like I have this space where I can just get out all my thoughts because I'm focused on something else. You know what it reminds me of? You know how people, what they do, and this is always taught, so it's people basically you're telling a story and you're just telling a story unless the person really likes you, which, you know, I hope you guys really like me. People can get really bored, so they tell people if you're making a reel, tell a story and do your makeup, because even if the person gets bored of your story, they'll start fixating on you doing your makeup and in turn listen to the story. They teach us in a lot of, I don't know, content making stuff, and you see people do it. So if you see people do that's what they're doing, because essentially it's kind of two birds with one stone. So it's if the person gets bored of whatever content that person is sharing, they might be interested in how they're doing their makeup, slash the human mind is fixated on something. So if the person's watching that person do their makeup, they might tune out of the story, but the story will still go into their subconscious, if that makes sense. But I feel when I'm driving, it's the opposite. I'm in the flow of driving, so then I can really flow and share, because some people drive crazy, then it pisses me off. But essentially it's Saturday, and first of all I want to say I am so happy with how my hair turned out yesterday, and I have so many things I want to talk about. So first of all, if you're a blonde, there's the person just didn't go. It was literally a green arrow, and the person literally didn't go, and all of us are still here. Are you mental? Pay attention to the damn road. I'm sorry, I get so annoyed when people don't just it's what do you mean? What are you doing? I get it. People say, oh, you're having a bad day. Okay, yeah, but when I'm having a bad day, the light's green, bitch, I'm going. I don't know. Anyway, it's a whole thing being blonde in terms of maintaining your color and maintenance and all this stuff. And so I just to talk about it because I think it's very helpful. So for me, I'd always get my hair highlighted, as you see with Christina. She's amazing. And the thing about, so this is the double-edged sword. So when you're freshly highlighted, and if they don't put toner on, but your color lifted amazingly, you're really bright, right? But bright also means that there's yellow or warm undertones, because that's what's creating that brightness. So that's why when you leave the salon, if you're blonde, you know what I'm talking about, you look so good. The color is so bright, it looks so fresh and just bright. I don't explain it. And but what happens is then as soon as you, I don't know, you wash your hair at home and whatever, the color, the vibrancy of the color begins to kind of fade a little bit. It's not as bright as when it first kind of lifted to that color. And I feel that would always kind of bother me, that it would look a little bit more dull. It would still look bright and blonde, and the specific things definitely help. I'm going to mention what helps. But essentially, when I'd leave the salon, always my hair would look banging, literally 10 out of 10, that bitch. And then in a few weeks, it would just not look the same. It just looked, the only way I can explain it is warmer / more dull, and that would always bother me. And the thing about anytime you deposit color, so let's say you do a purple shampoo or a toner, you're depositing color, so it is going to remove some of that brightness. So you can still be blonde, and it can bring ash or contrast the color, but it's depositing that color, so it's kind of gonna make it, I'd say more gray tone, but it's gonna bring it to a neutral tone, but also remove some of that brightness. So you kind of have, I feel two options as a blonde. One, you know, after someone's super bright and blonde, you just do everything you can to keep it that bright blonde, use good products, a tiny bit of purple shampoo mixed in with your shampoo. I don't ever do a full purple shampoo anymore. It's traumatized me too many times. I've turned my hair silver / purple, even when I've literally left it in, I'm not kidding, a minute, 2 minutes. I use the Olaplex purple shampoo. I'll link it down below. But I feel that's your one option, or your other option is to tone it. So one of my clients, she's amazing, shout out Ashley if you're watching this, she's an amazing hairstylist in the Seattle area, so if you're in that area, I'll put her Instagram down below, she's the best. I was talking to her and I was what do you think? What are your suggestions? And of course, I already did all the other things, right? You have the shower head, which I could replace it again because I haven't replaced it in a bit, but even when I had it fresh, the super nice Symbiotica shower filter, it was double filtered actually. I had 2 thingies on it. I'm pretty sure, I have to double check, but I swear it's what I think. and like, you know, I was using good product, etc, etc. What did help was when I switched to using Oribe, which I know, like, I switched, it's like I'm very much about the non-toxic clean life, but certain things I just think you need the chemicals. Does that make sense? So I don't know, like certain things I feel like you just need the chemicals for certain things, not for everything, or like you can cut out, I feel like majority, I feel like you can cut out like 90-95%, but like certain things you just need the chemical to give you like the reaction you need. So I started using Oribe, although like because I feel like I have to research what's in it, but because I know a lot of those products have like endocrine disruptors, but I feel like if you're, the thing is, I think it called compounds, right? So if like you are using everything, like you're using makeup, skincare, body care, this guy again, it's a red light, you can turn right, sweetie. Like, oh wait, he's a hummingbird in his car, it's a symbol for me. Okay, I'll calm down. Oh, that really relaxed me. Like he has a hummingbird hanging from his thing, not a live hummingbird in his car. But like, I feel like if you're using everything, right, that's when you get crazy effects. Like some people are using like endocrine disrupting, like shampoo, conditioner, product, skincare, makeup, and then daily. Like that is one thing. But although the only thing I will say is that when I would be way more careful when I was like pregnant. I'm not pregnant. I don't plan to be pregnant for a few years. But I feel like when I'd be pregnant, then I'd be way more cautious about like just, I wouldn't use Oribe then. But right now, I switched to the Gold Lust line, which yeah, it is really expensive. Like I genuinely, it is kind of like, even I'm very much about like investing in good quality stuff. Like I'm usually not one to like really bat an eye at when things are an investment if it's worth it, because I do a lot of research about everything that I buy, you guys know. So like if I'm getting something, I'm getting like the best of the best. And I'm not saying that in like an egotistical way. Like it's like if I'm gonna invest my money, I'd rather wait to get the item that I really want or the best item than just get like a dupe usually. Sometimes, yeah, I'm sure there's been times in the past where that wasn't the case and I got something because I wanted it quickly. I'm sure, right? I'm not perfect, but I, in general, will like rather do, and I feel like I've learned this through like probably like my dad, also my one friend, my best friend, she's very much like this. Like I would rather do the research to like find what the best one is and like sometimes have to wait than just try something, if that makes sense. And so anyway, like even Oribe, I'm like, it is pretty crazy to spend $70. I think it's like literally $70 a conditioner and like 60 something the shampoo. Like it is really wild, but to be honest, it really made a huge difference in my hair. I'm not gonna lie, it really made it really nice. I wouldn't say it made a difference in the coloring, more in the luster and like just the texture of my hair. Like when I'd wash my hair with Oribe, my hair looks like I went to a salon. Like it's like, you know when you go to a salon, you come out, your hair is like bouncy and like lustrous and like like it literally looks like that. Like it looks like you're out of the salon, which, you know, because in salon they use salon products, often they use Oribe. But that really helped in terms of making my hair look so lustrous. Like, oh my gosh, you guys, like it was like glowing. Like literally, I was editing a vlog, I wonder what, probably one of my past vlogs, and you could see the luster in my hair, or maybe it was even in a reel. Like it's amazing. So if you're willing to invest, I think it could be worth it. You could always also like mix it with another shampoo if you didn't want to waste that much. Also depends how much you use. Like I have a lot of hair, so I feel like I have to use like, I like squirt it out 3 to 4 times different dollops. But if you're not using that much, then you don't need necessarily to use that much. Also, I would use it just with the shampoo, and it still worked really great. Because in the beginning, I was like, I'm just gonna buy the shampoo and see if I like it. I don't want to buy the whole shampoo and conditioner if like I don't feel like it makes a difference. And I fell in love with the shampoo after one wash. So then I got the conditioner, and I really do like it. I really do. Yeah, I know it's like not the cleanest, but anyway, my friend / client was telling me like you should ask your stylist to make blend a toner and to leave it on for 20 minutes, but do it like super diluted. So I asked Christina, she's a legend, I was like, can you do that? And she was like, yeah, of course. And she left it on for 15 minutes. She's like, I'm scared to leave it on for 20 even though I diluted it. She's like, I just don't want it to get too ashy where it's gonna lose like your brightness, and this is the effect, and I love it. So obviously toner washes out, so we're gonna experiment and see how long it lasts. But I really love the coloring. I would literally probably just drive back to Beverly Hills just to get it toned. That's how much I love it. So this is like what gives it the effect. So she did highlights, of course, we moved up my extensions, and then she she mixed like 3 things, so I don't know. I could ask her. I don't know if she'll share her formulations because I think most hairstylists are pretty private when they like discover like golden things, but this is like that blonde ashy like look, and it literally changed the game. Literally my skin looks so much better because my skin. Also, I really recommend that you look into this, like your color palette. It's really good to get it professionally done, and I actually really want to go do that. But you can like do it yourself as well. But essentially, you find like what color palette you are and what colors suit you best. I believe I'm late spring or early summer. I think I'm I think I'm late spring. I'd have to double check. I don't remember, but essentially I'm like super light cool tones suit me, and my undertone is pink. So that's why for me, if I cannot wear warm tone colors, it looks off. The thing about like color toning is that it's not like you're gonna look awful. It's just that certain colors are gonna make you pop and look like amazing. And any celebrities who have stylists, they're dressing them in accordance to this because it makes a huge difference. If I wear like a burnt orange top, it's fine, but I don't look like good in it. Does that make sense? Like I can wear it, but it doesn't do anything for me. It's like I'm just like wearing it, it's like meh. And then, but if I wear like a cool toned cream, it's like my jam. I mean, I'm telling you, I look amazing in it. Like it really works because it like brings out my skin tone, it brings out my hair, my eyes, my lip, like it makes everything look so good. And if you take a picture side by side, because I've seen this, so it's so cool when colorists, color professionals do this, and have like someone with like a color that doesn't suit them and a color that does suit them, it's like crazy to see it side by side, right? Just like if you see it before and after, it's pretty wild, but if you just saw that person regularly walking around, even in there before, you might not think of anything. So I really recommend, I believe it's called like, I'll put in the description what it's called, but it's like, I'm sorry, I'm really blanking on it, but my mom's really into it, she got me into it, and my best friend's really into it, and there's like a woman in LA who does it like professionally, and will spend like 5 to 6 hours with you selecting the best colors for you. So I'm planning on doing that soon, so let me know if you want me to bring you guys along so you can kind of get the vibe. If you're like my color palette, I think it'll be like, you'll save your money, you'll get it through me. Like if you are also like cool tone blonde, blue eyes. If you're warm, obviously warm, I mean the general rule of thumb, right, like it can make it like a little bit simpler, is if you're cool tone colors are gonna suit you. If you're warm colors suit you. You know, like for me, if I wear warm colors, it looks off. Why I'm saying that is because hair also is a color that's right by your face, and in terms of that color theory, it's more about what's right next to your face. So I could wear like a warm tone bag because I'm not carrying it next to my face, if that makes sense. It's more like what's like up here. Like I could even wear warm tone pants and it wouldn't be that bad. It's more about like what's right near your face, so like tops and stuff, and like headbands and, you know, things like that, earrings I would say even. But for me, my hair, when it's warm, it throws my like face off because my face is very cool tone, so my hair is warm, it just looks off. I don't know anyone else who thinks about this shit. Like, is this me? Because I have a Venus and Gemini, so like I just love this stuff. But like, but when I have cool tone hair, so when she did my hair last night, today I was doing my makeup and my skin looked better. Like my skin literally like popped. Like my skin looked brighter, my eyes looked brighter, my lips looked brighter, like everything looked so much brighter with when my hair is cool tone. Like it makes that much of a difference to my whole appearance, where like I'm like literally, we'll see how long this toner lasts and I'll keep you posted if you care. And like when it washes out, I'm going back. I'm gonna get it back toned. So yeah, I'm just sharing this because I feel like, oh my gosh, I'm running, so I'm going to a pole class, but it says I'm literally gonna be late, which is so sad. Okay, that's all my color theory stuff that I wanted to share, but because I find it really fascinating, and I feel like when you're aware, then you can like really, just like small changes can make the huge difference to your look. I'm a Gemini, I'm a Venus in Gemini, okay? I like love aesthetics, beauty, fashion, like y'all already know. But I'm just saying, like, just small changes, like just knowing that, like, oh, warm tones, if I'm more warm, like you have olive skin and like green eyes or something, or like you have even like warm skin and brown eyes, just knowing like, oh, warm tones are gonna make me look really good. Just like, it's a subtle awareness. So when you go buy a shirt and it's in 2 colors, and it's in a cool color and it's a warm color, you know. Do you know what I mean? Like for me, like if I find something that's like in a warm color, I won't buy it, even if I like it, because I know it's not gonna look flattering on me. For example, maybe I should even sell these. I have 2 Savannah Moro tops, which they're like, this is really luxurious, sustainable brand in LA. They're like $200 or $300 each. So, and like they're warm, and I bought them before I really was like super aware. I just really loved them. Like it was such a beautiful top, and I wore it, and it just looks off. Like if my mom were to wear it, maybe I should give it to my mom. Like she's warm toned, it would look amazing. Like if my mom were to wear it, it would just like, she would look like a goddess. But I love how British people say goddess. My husband's British, and I like make him say it all the time. Like I'm like, tell me I'm your goddess, because you know in America it's like goddess, but there it's goddess. Okay, we're gonna go, we're gonna go, we're gonna go, vroom, vroom. So yeah, just like a little thing I wanted to share. I feel like it's valuable to know, and I feel like as soon as you discover it, you can like, and then also it applies to makeup too, especially. So, because makeup's directly on your face, right? So if you're really cool, like for me, when I wear warm colors, it just looks like weird. And my mom once, it's so funny, I was wearing like warm, especially, you know, it really does it. What's like the worst that you could do is your foundation. Like, it's one thing to wear like the wrong color match, like a blush or something, but like a foundation, if you're wearing the like, okay, so for example, I'm cool tone, I'm pink undertones. When I buy foundation, I have to make sure, or like any face product, it has to be cool tone. And you know, it's ironic, the one I recently got from Chantecaille, it's kind of like neutral toned. I wouldn't say it's warm or cool, it's more neutral, and like I can tell that if it was pink, it would be better for me. And I really wanted to get the pink one, but the girl there was like, no, this one looks better on you, I promise. And I was like, she did show it to me in the light and it looked fine, so I was like, I trusted her. Yeah, it's like, it's pretty good, but it could be better. Like, I don't know. Like, it could be more aligned to my color, but the rest of my makeup is, so I feel like it kind of like gives it some balance. But if you're like cool and you wear warm foundation, it like, your face will look like muddy almost. I don't know what the word, yeah, muddy slash just like off. Or the opposite, if you're warm and you're wearing cool foundation, that's a mistake less people make, because people who are warm toned, like if you're warm toned and you swatch like a cool foundation, it like clearly like looks almost like ashy. So most people I feel like don't do that. I think it's always the opposite. It's kind of like the 2000 era when everyone was wearing like the orange Dream Matte Mousse. If anyone remembers that, it's like that, you know. It's like, it just, when you swatch a warm color in your cool tone, it doesn't register in your mind too much, because it might be subtly warm. Like, such a subtle difference. Sometimes you can only see it like side by side, really. Same thing with like lipsticks and stuff. Like, if you were to see one lipstick, unless you're really good, I feel like I could tell. But like, unless you're really good at like tones, sometimes it might be like, oh, I don't know if it's cool or warm or in between. But if you see like 3 lipsticks swatched side by side, you could see which one is more warm or a cool, or maybe like neutral. Does that make sense? So yeah, makeup I feel like is also really important. I feel like I want to swap out my Chantecaille product, but like it's been like, I don't know, weeks, and I've used it like I've used like a bit of the tub. They're gonna be like, you just now realized after 3 weeks that you don't like it, or 2 weeks. No, and I like it, I really like it, but just the tone could be a little bit better. So yeah, I just feel like these are like such valuable things to discuss, like in terms of beauty, right? Of course, in life there's lots of things happening. This isn't the like, we're not like at the World Peace Conference, this is what I'm bringing up, but I'm just saying as an example, it's really interesting when you become aware of it, because these little things can enhance your look like instantly. Like literally, if you just pick makeup, when you buy makeup that's aligned to your color palette, even if you don't wear a lot, just like simple, right? Like a tinted moisturizer. Tinted moisturizers are really hard, because most of them, unless they're like, most of the ones that are like self-adjusting are warm tone and they oxidize because of the sunscreen. So tinted moisturizers are really tricky. For me, it's what I found, because even I feel like when they're cool, when they oxidize, they get like a little bit, you know. Do you guys remember when back in the day the most like famous product was the Laura Mercier tinted moisturizer? Do you remember that? If you were on YouTube, makeup YouTube, like back in the day, okay, the NYX white crayon, all the ladies know, if you know you know, the Laura Mercier tinted moisturizer was like the hottest product. I like literally remember, it was just like, oh my gosh. But I feel like, yeah, unless like the product is like really good at staying stable in that tone, I think they oxidize a lot. But yeah, essentially it's like these small changes can make such a huge difference. It's like a metaphor of life, right? Like genuinely, like you pick colors when you do your makeup that bring your palette out. Like if you're warm toned, oh my gosh, like if you were like your skin was like tan and you had like green eyes, oh my gosh, like if me in another life, if I was like that, if I had like dark hair, like light green eyes and like olivey skin, oh my gosh, like gold eyeshadow, like would look so good. Like obviously if on a night out maybe, or like, but even like lightly gold, like warmer like cheek colors, like warmer highlight, like warmer lip would look so good. Like oh my gosh, you know, you just find like what works for you. My dad's cool tone too, and it's so funny, the other day he was like, no, it was like a while ago, he was wearing a lilac shirt, like a periwinkle shirt, and he looked so, like his face was popping, and I was like, Mom, see, like he's dressing for his color palette, he doesn't even know. Yeah, so the things that are closest to your face, just try to think about it that way. So just when you're picking makeup, just like consider that and think about it. And there's online quizzes you can take, and yeah, I think there's even people online I'm sure who do it, but it's really good in person, because it's good to see someone's like complexion in person and like really see. Yeah, it's really interesting. Also, like for me, like this is kind of ironic, black isn't the best color for me to wear. Like it doesn't do anything for me. I still wear black. Do you know? It doesn't mean that you have to like throw away your closet or only wear things that make you pop. I mean, ideally, like it would make sense, right? To only wear things that make you pop. Like why would you not always want to be poppin'? Also, this is so funny. My husband was like, oh, like what young kids say these days, they say like that's bussin', for real, for real. And I'm like, I've never heard anyone say that. I'm like, if I say that out loud, people make fun of me because you told me that that's like hip to say. So you can tell me, do people say that these days? But anyway, like why wouldn't you want to be poppin'? You know, like like always, if you could, like if you could wear something that would always make you pop. Like for example, what coat would make me pop is if I had like a cool toned cream puffer coat. I would look 10 times better than if I did right now. If I was wearing right now like a, you know what I mean, like a cool toned cream, like a latte but like cool toned, like super light, like almost a nude puffer, I would look so good right now. It would bring my hair out. It would like make my blonde look brighter. It would make my eyes pop more. See, the more you know, the more you know. I know this is like our Saturday morning conversation, okay? So we're laid back. It's the weekend, so we can have these kinds of chats. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. Just really interesting to consider. So I'd love to hear down below what you are. Like if you know already that if you're like a cool summer, late summer. Like my best friend, she's a autumn. Like I forgot if it's late, early, middle, whatever. She's one of the autumn, so she's really warm tone. And I always notice she always looks really good, but she's always wearing warm tones. Even on her nails, she'll always do warm tones. Your hands, right, also are pretty. You want to definitely, like your hands, it's right next to your skin tone, so it's really good to even have your nails. Like I've been doing like cool tone nails, and I feel like it looks good on my hands. But she always had like warm nails, like burgundy or like emerald, just as an example, right? And she'll always be wearing like a rich blue or an emerald, like basically fall colors year round, because like that's what looks so good on her. Like if she were to wear like a pastel, she would look like ashy almost, you know? She was telling me, and for me it's so ironic because when we designed, so I led a retreat, a spiritual healing retreat last year in Sedona, and we designed like the hoodies, which are so cute. Like people wanted me to sell them just by themselves, which we have some left, so like I could consider it. But they say like we believe in magic on the front, and then they have, like this beautiful picture of like Sedona, like a graphic on the back. Oh my god, the class is starting and it's like I'm not there yet. Soon, but and the color is like warm, like it's nude but it's more warm. It's like a weird in-between color, but it doesn't do me good. When I wear it, it makes me look like off, and I wore it a lot and I was like, why does this not look good? But if it was more like cool toned, I'll show you. Yesterday, if you were watching my vlog, I was wearing a cool toned top, so if you saw, I'll wear it maybe again today. I really like my outfit yesterday, but it's kind of colder, much colder today, so we'll see. This is a really long conversation we're having. I know. I'm gonna wrap it up in a second, but essentially, yeah, it was just like, it really made me pop. So just begin. I'd love to hear down below if you know like what you are, like if you already know what I'm talking about and you're like, oh girl, yeah, I'm an early spring, I already know. Let me know down below. I'll find what the name is to like look it up if you don't know. Like if you want to look into what you are, there's a word for it, like color theory, like it's like color palette. There's a literal word for it. There's a term for it. And then if you don't know that, just let me know down below. Are you warm or cool toned, and have you noticed? And then if you have noticed like what colors look good on you, let me know down below. And I want you to let me know down below like if you have colors that you like love, that you always like gravitate towards. So this is why it's really good, because now I'm more aware. So like before, I always knew that like white and cream look good on me, but now that I know a lot of pastels do, like I would be willing to maybe like incorporate more pastels, like a lilac and things like that. Although I'm more of like a neutral girl, because I just like when all my clothes like it's a capsule collection, but I can still add like, you know, those kinds of colors. So let me know down below. It's a really long conversation. I'm going to a pole class. It's just low flow.